Welcome back to Energy Discussions, and today's topic is what keeps a battle royale relevant, and like building on that, what makes it good? What's a good battle royale? And I think even building on that, what makes them bad? Why do people not like some battle royales? Kind of like just evaluating the whole genre. And one of the things that's brought on this discussion is very recently Fortnite brought back its classic map and had its highest player count ever. And this is a 6-year-old game now. So that's kind of ridiculous. Like, just the statistics alone, that should not be the case. But have you played many Battle Royale?
I have played a few, but definitely not as many as you have. You're definitely going to be more the expert on this topic, but we'll see where we go.
Well,
I definitely think that
is a Battle Royale, isn't it?
That's definitely a different kind of Battle Royale, but it fits.
But that's what makes it good, and it doesn't really compete with other ones, because the ones probably everyone thinks about is shooter Battle Royales.
Yep.
And that's not what Fall Guys is. That's why I think it continues to be relevant. I don't know what the player count for that is like, if a lot of people are playing it. I know I still play it. I enjoy it.
I still play it.
So, I don't know. I think I think that's an interesting one, though.
I do think we should start with Fortnite, though, because...
Yeah. So, Fortnite, I think everyone knows, got big because of the... Well, at the time, it was free, which wasn't a huge thing a lot of people were doing, because I think PUBG was still charging. Warzone didn't exist. Apex didn't exist.
Well, PUBG did exist.
But it charged. It was $30.
Yeah.
So that was the big difference. And it wasn't on consoles.
Honestly, I would argue that the only reason Fortnite got so popular is because PUBG existed, and because that Fortnite was a free alternative.
Yeah. Fortnite did everything right, more or less. It had the internet going with it. It had it was just fun at the time, and this was a time when building was in it, and it was actually fun. So I just think, and then that's part of the reason why it's popular now is just they didn't really change the gameplay. They just reset the map to its original, which on the surface doesn't do a lot, but I think it's just the fact that it means so much to so many people. That's what's making the difference. So, I don't know.
Yeah, keeping the gameplay fresh really does a lot to keep something more relevant, because if you're playing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get sick of it eventually, no matter how good it is.
Yeah. But on the flip side of that, this... if you only played Fortnite back when it was popular, and you're coming back for the first time since then, the gameplay will be radically different from what you remember, because they've added a lot of things like vaulting and sprinting is now in it, and all this stuff. So there's that. And then I think an example of a game that has not really aged as well as Fortnite is Warzone. And that, I think, has a lot to do with I think that's a problem that plagues Call of Duty altogether, is it's just that's the reason people didn't like playing Fortnite with building, is because it's all sweats, right? And that's the same thing, is Call of Duty's multiplayer and their Battle Royale are just filled with the tryhards. And no matter how much you want to argue it, having to completely sweat in every game you play is not fun. Unless that's just the only thing you enjoy, is being ultra competitive all the time. But,
yeah. I do think there has to be a kind of happy middle ground, though, because if something isn't competitive in any sense, then there's no incentive to keep playing.
True. But look at Fall Guys. That's the perfect example. It's competitive, but it's fun. And that's what every game should try to be. But see, there's a difference between difficult and challenging. Challenging is what things should strive to be, because challenging is fun. Difficult does not equal challenge. And
that's probably gonna have to be like a different discussion.
But like, if you need proof, look no further than Halo 2 on Legendary.
That's just a good example, actually.
Yeah. So, but you get the point. Challenging is what things should strive to be, because you want to beat the challenge. You want to overcome the challenge. That is what is fun about gaming. That's why, like, just looking back at chess, there's a challenge there, beating your opponent. The whole game is a challenge. And it's meant to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. But yeah. So,
but I agree to disagree on chess in terms of fun value, but
you don't think it's fun? I was the one that was going to be like, eh.
No, I think chess is fun, but I definitely also think it depends on how good you are at it.
Well, right. That as more of a skill ceiling, but you get the point. Like, just games like that.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have challenge, it's not fun. There has to be some kind of difficulty to it, but again, difficulty does not just equal challenge.
Yeah, and managing difficulty in a battle royale is a lot more complicated than in a normal game as well, because in a battle royale, managing difficulty means that you need to balance how easy it is for a new player to do stuff while also still making it so that, other players can still do things.
Right. But this is why I think for Battle Royale, there's two things that really contribute to a good Battle Royale. That is sandbox and the map. And this is why the new, or the old Fortnite map is doing well, is because they reverted the sandbox to classic and the map to classic. The map is iconic, and I think is probably the best map that they've ever had, mostly due to simplicity. The other ones were kind of just complex for complex sake. Rally point. And then the sandbox, we were just talking about this the other day before they reverted it to the classic map. Sandbox just isn't fun. I'm not excited to pick up any of the guns, the items, anything. For the map, there was no drop. There was no go-to drop that we had. Like, oh, this is the place we're going every game. We didn't have that. But now, back with the classic map, both of those things are back. So I think that says a lot. And that was also a problem with the Warzone 2, at least. I know everyone talks about Verdansk, which was the original Warzone 1 map, which I guess is the most iconic, but even then it wasn't great. But the new Modern Warfare 2, same thing. Just no drops. The weapons are the same as the multiplayer. It's not like anything's better. And then they also use loadouts, so it literally just copy and paste the meta from the multiplayer to Warzone. It's like, I don't really understand.
You have to rebalance the game for Battle Royale. You can't just copy and paste balancing.
Yeah, well, they didn't, so problem.
Rally point 6.
But, yeah, and then I guess Apex is another one to look at, which I think, that one map, I think, is less important because of the gameplay. Although it does obviously matter, but it's just in terms, it's less important. That one, I think, dropped off faster than Warzone did. Mainly because they had repetitive gameplay. They didn't change it up enough. They weren't adding enough to the sandbox. They had an interesting idea with their heroes, I guess, or their legends, which have like abilities and stuff. But this is kind of the same flaw that Rainbow Six has, but less so, because Rainbow Six at least has the gameplay and the rounds to back it up. Apex is just a battle royale over and over, right? So you play as each legend 10 times. What's next, right?
I think something that we're missing out on in this discussion so far is not just gameplay-wise what keeps a battle royale relevant, but progression-wise. How do you keep a battle royale, keeping you invested? What do you unlock as you go along? Is there an unlock system? Is there incentive to keep playing other than just for the sake of playing?
So this is also an issue that I think every game has, except for Fall Guys. Fall Guys is the only one that does this right. And they used to do it right better, but they kind of dropped it since they went free to play. But Fall Guys used to give you in-game currency that you could spend on anything in the store. So there was always a reason to play. You get reward for every match you play.
It still does that, just to a lesser degree.
To a lesser degree. And then they don't sell a lot of stuff anymore. I've always said this about Fortnite in particular. I think they should be giving... Either introduce a new currency and part of the store like Fall Guys has where, you can get it for free playing the game. But I thought they should be giving out V-Bucks for victories. I think, I don't know, something. Because it's like...
I can see why you would say that.
Because before this new map came out, we were playing maybe 2 games. We played 2 games, win or lose. And then we switched to a different game. Because... the gameplay at the time, the sandbox and the map was only fun for so long. There wasn't any reward for play. So it's like, rather play Fall Guys, rather play
anything else.
Yeah, well, just something else. And that's not what you want if you're Fortnite, right? You want us to stay.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So just to recap here, it's like sandbox, map are important. That contributes to your replayability, your rewards. So it's like basically making your game fun.
At upgrade complete.
Making it replayable, and then wanting people to replay, giving them an incentive.
Also giving people an incentive to play it in the first place, because you need to expand player counts. You need to sustain them. You don't want them to just drop off a cliff the second the game comes out.
Right. Is there anything else we're missing here?
What should you unlock from a Battle Royale game?
Well, it depends on the game. Most of them revolve around skins, so I think it should either be currency to buy skins or skins themselves.
So purely cosmetic options should be the unlock.
I think so, because unlocking weapons is a whole other thing. I think it should be cosmetic. But, again, it's very difficult to make cosmetics that people care about. That was the problem with Apex. Their cosmetics weren't good at all. No one cared. Fortnite is an interesting case where most of their stuff, at least in the beginning, were original ideas, completely original skins.
Yeah.
People cared. People bought them. Now it has a lot to do with like IPs and stuff.
How did Fortnite get all those IPs anyway?
Well, they were big. They made a name for themselves, and then everyone wanted to work with them.
Units. All units.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Our base is under attack.
But yeah. And then just one last shout out, I guess, to Blackout from Black Ops 4. Just because I don't want it to be forgotten to time. It wasn't great by any means, but it wasn't bad. And I think it was an interesting concept. And honestly, probably better than Warzone, or in certain aspects. So I just wanted to throw it out there.